Hey everyone, here today to talk about late season field scouting with Encirca Pro imagery. What is Encirca Pro? It's a mobile phone application available exclusively from Pioneer that focuses on increasing the ability of growers to more efficiently and precisely scout their fields. There's a number of features in this powerful app. What Mike and I are going to talk about today is really focused around that satellite imagery. So how does the Encirca Pro satellite imagery work? Essentially, there's satellites that travel around the earth, take pictures of fields almost every day, and then we use an algorithm that we've developed at Pioneer that uses the green reflected and infrared reflected light to pull out differences in the greenness of that canopy that aren't visible to the naked eye. We also have the ability, which Mike will talk about in a minute, to look at changes in the health of the canopy between two different dates in time. So Mike, I know you've been using this app to do some field scouting this fall. Maybe share with us some of the things you've been seeing.
Absolutely. Well, thanks a lot, Andy. So across the greater north central Wisconsin area, we've had a lot of stresses on our crop here. And, we talk a lot of the early season scouting we can be using Pro for, but this time of year, I like to be using Pro to go ahead and evaluate, what our fields are at in terms of, stock quality or finding potential areas where we might have to speed up harvest. So this particular field here did some ground truthing. As you can see, we're located where the blue dot was. We had a regression there in plant health. Went out there right to that location. And as you can see in the photos here, we've got a lot of firing going on in the plants themselves. We've got nutrient defificiencies, exhibit up past the ear leaf. And as you can see on the photo to the far right there, we're experiencing a lot of tip back. We see a lot of kernels that have been aborted. So this particular portion of the field's taken a lot of stress, and the stalk quality was also questionable too, as I was looking at this. So from there, took it another step and went ahead and just went down to an area of the field where we had medium to excellent plant health, and went down in there. And as you can see, significantly less firing there. This is actually what this boiled down to, is that really was just more of just a soil change in the field itself that we're seeing here, and how that hybrid responded to that soil change. And as you can see here too, looking at the ears to the far right, seeing more consistency and less variation too in terms of harvestable ears. So, just starting to give some answers as far as what we saw from the year and things we can be doing as far as considerations we need to make here, planning ahead for 2019. In this example here, we're just wrapping up, is looking at the differences, right? So what I'm looking at here is the crop health change aspect that Andy mentioned earlier in the video here. So we're comparing from August 9th to August 17th. And as you can see, in that time period here, half that field actually stayed the same as far as plant health, and the other half actually went backwards in that short period of time. And if you recall back to that time period in central Wisconsin, at that point, we were really light on rain, and we started to see that crop curl up pretty hard, and that's where a lot of that stress initially happened. And what we're starting to see now is we're starting to do our late season scouting. So, the next example here that I'm going to be using is really what I like to look for. We've always done a lot of ground truthing for stalk disease and stalk rot late season, but this is where Encirca Pro can really be beneficial. So in this particular example here, you can see where I'm located on the map. We get out to this portion of the field itself, and as you can see, once again, the plants themselves, we got a lot of firing going on, up to the ear leaf. We progress to the next slide here. We can see we've got some top dieback going on in some instances, and start to do some more truthing here and splitting stalks. And sure enough, we're seeing early season examples of anthracnose and also fusarium stalk rot. So and that being said, more ground truthing led to more failures of the pinch and push test. So it was a good way to go ahead and scout a field and say, okay, this portion of the field, or maybe a field, needs to be sped up in terms of the harvest progression that we're looking at for the fall. So then we take this another step and go to an area of the field that looks really good as far as the current plant health. And, as you can see in that middle photo here, get there and everything looks just phenomenal. We've got a little bit of firing in the lowermost leaves, which you'd expect for this time of year. But, go ahead, start doing the pinch and push test. Everything looks great. And then even taking that a step further and splitting the stalks, and things look good there too. We're not seeing any early, any of this symptomology of disease at this point. So, this is how I'd be using this tool, is to help stage out my harvest and make sure that I don't potentially have bushels I have to try and pick back off the ground later.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike. Great examples. Just to close out here, here's an example from last year. So this is from the 2017 crop. You can see on the left there, very similar to what Mike was showing. I'm standing in two different parts of a field, an area with healthy imagery and vice versa, and we can see that ground truthing. But check out the image to the right in that field, looking at a late season Encirca Pro satellite image compared to what the harvest map looked like for that field. We see this pretty consistently, that late season imagery really is almost a predictor of our yield map. And I think that's one of the big advantages. It's similar to what some of the things Mike talked about. Growers are going to make a lot of decisions about their 2019 crop, from how much fertilizer they're going to apply, which hybrids they're going to purchase and plant. Why not use a tool like this to get ahead of harvest and know what some of the challenges and successes you have out there, help make some of those decisions before you run the combine through the field. Hey, thanks, Mike, for joining us today. As always, great technology is only as good as the team that's using it. So here at Pioneer, we really combine our passion for agriculture, 92 years of agronomy, with these cutting-edge technologies to help the growers we work with be as successful as possible. If you'd like to learn more about Encirca Pro, talk to your local Pioneer sales rep. Thanks.
Thank you.